Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking all about my wedding regrets, mistakes, and just everything that went wrong. Now, this video is meant to be lighthearted, so I hope you find it helpful or at least entertaining. But before we jump in, please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're already married, go ahead and comment down below what was your biggest wedding mistake or regret or just anything that went wrong. I would love to hear your stories. Jumping right in, the first wedding mistake had to do with my dresses. So I did have two different dresses, one for my ceremony and one for the reception, and I loved them both. I was lucky enough that both of the dresses that I picked out were already in my size when I got them, so they didn't need to be altered, but I did forget one very important alteration, and that is to get the dress bustled. And to add a bustle to a dress really just means to make it so that there's a way you can convert it so that it's easier to walk in after your ceremony, or in my case, easier to dance in. When I imagined my wedding day, I imagined that I would be dancing a lot, and I did, but it was just so much harder to dance and get around because neither of my dresses bustled. So don't be like me. If you are getting married anytime soon and your dress is kind of long and trails behind you, please, please, please get a bustle put into the dress. Now this next one is another one that was completely 100% me, and that is that I forgot my garter. Now this was particularly important because we had a garter toss, and obviously you need a garter to toss. Lucky for me, I realized it the night before and I was able to make a last minute dash to the local Walmart who happened to have one, and I was able to use that for my wedding day. Now of course this wasn't such a big deal, but I was upset that I didn't get to use the actual garter that I had purchased for my wedding day because the one that I got at Walmart just wasn't as cute. So your takeaway from this one is to make sure that you make a packing list if you are getting married anywhere other than where you live, and make sure that you go over it more than twice and make sure you have everything with you before you head out the door for that weekend or that day. Now this next one is kind of sort of a mistake depending on the way you look at it, and that was that I chose to do my own makeup for my wedding. Now I think it turned out beautiful and I'm really happy with the result. But something I didn't consider was how nervous I would be on the day of my actual wedding. So even though I practiced this look over and over to make sure I had it down pat, it ended up taking me about twice as long because my hands were so shaky. Now I've done my makeup to get ready for performances, but this was nerves on a whole nother level. So if you are considering doing your own makeup for your wedding, just keep in mind that you will most likely be pretty nervous on that day, and so take that into consideration in choosing whether you want to continue to do your makeup for your wedding or if you maybe want to get some help. If I could go back, I would definitely have gotten the help because it was just something that stressed me out a little bit on my wedding day when I didn't expect it to at all. Now these next two are vendor related, and the first one is the DJ. So, first off, music is very important to Andy and I, and we wanted it to be kind of the centerpiece of our entire wedding. In other words, we were very specific about the music that we wanted to play, down to the songs that we wanted to hear. I even uploaded the information into the database he uses for his events. Now, despite sending over this very specific list of songs, we didn't hear most of them. We definitely heard, some here and there, especially for the specific moments, but the overall playlist that was played at the wedding was not what I wanted. So my biggest takeaway from this one is to just make sure that the communication between you and all of your vendors is crystal clear. Make sure that they understand what you expect from them and they understand what to expect from you. And the very last thing that went wrong actually had to do with our food. Andy and I decided to go the route of having food trucks at our wedding. We did this for a couple reasons. Number one, we wanted to kind of diversify the food options. And number two, we wanted something that was a little bit quirkier than your typical buffet style meal. And we also didn't want a plated dinner because we felt that that was a little bit too formal, plus definitely outside of the budget. When it came to the wedding day, one of the food trucks was late, about 30 minutes late to be exact. And this was due to them getting lost and not knowing where the venue was. Now, they made it there, they served the food, and everything went well, and it wasn't a big deal. No, I won't even say that. Now, they did get there, and they were able to serve our guests, and that was great, but ultimately, them being late caused us to actually end up paying more to the other food truck because they ended up over-serving. Of course, it's not the end of the world, it wasn't the biggest deal in the world, but it was kind of upsetting to come back to another wedding bill after the honeymoon. For this one, again, I say to make sure that that crystal clear communication is open between you and your vendors, that they know exactly where everything is, the times they need to be there, just to prevent anything like this from happening to you. Alrighty guys, that is everything I wanted to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I do hope this video is helpful. Again, I had the best day ever and I would live it over and over again. But again, I did just want to share these so that it hopefully helps you out. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will have the other video in my wedding series linked down below so you can watch that one if you haven't already. And I hope you have a good one. Bye.